I have nothing but good to say about Dr. Tenove. He provides the best of services.
Oh yeah, here we go.
John Tenove is an interesting character. He just is a piece of the action, he knows what's going on, and he's in tune with the town.
His real forte is hockey. He runs the medical aspects of the hockey club, so he used to get all his hockey players up here for exercise, stress tests, and what have you before the season, just to make sure nobody died on the ice, including himself.
He is a tenacious negotiator. And as an administrator, that can make my life a little bit more complex.
Here we go.
I think the fact that they call him Doc says a lot about John, because that he's not Dr. Tenove, he's Doc.
So this young gal is one of our patients, an amazing artist, and actually I delivered her and her child, so 2 generations. Uh-oh, here we go. So I'm John Tenove, family physician in Nanton for I guess 36, 37 years now, and made the decision that that's my life's work, and it just continues. I started in High River for a year, and that's just when I met my wife, Lorna, and moved her back to Nanton.
I grew up here. I was born and raised on a farm about 10 miles west. I was on my way out of Nanton. I had made it all the way to High River. I knew his sister there. She was a public health nurse, and she introduced us. That's where it all started.
When I first came here as a student intern, seeing at that time the things that the hospital couldn't do. They didn't have the lab service to much of a degree, and even diagnostic imaging and that. So you had to develop clinical skills. Are you able to stay fairly active?
It's amazing.
So when I went back as a medical student, I wouldn't kind of put up with just being slotted into the usual rotations. I knew what I needed to learn. I knew that this is the place I wanted to be.
It's good, guys.
Living here, I've been a city boy. I grew up in Edmonton, and to me it started out as an adventure because it was old-fashioned. You work to make it the community you want to live in, and you're surrounded by people that are the same way, and so you don't stand out as anything exceptional. It's just the way everybody is in Nanton.
Yeah.
You don't, nothing goes on in this town that you don't know the story the next day.
It's a nice little town. We have everything here we really need. There's a grocery store, there's a drugstore, we have our medical clinic. My kids all grew up here. The arena's there for them to play hockey and everything in. You couldn't ask for a better town to raise kids in.
They don't come much better than Nanton, in my opinion. It's a great small town feel. We still know a lot of people in town, and you can still say hello to your neighbors on the street and know the majority of the people in town.
Good timing. Hi there. This is we have so many good restaurants in Nanton, but this place is great for lunch because it's not that busy. It gets kind of extended over the whole afternoon. Meanwhile, there's lots of neat stuff to. Well, yeah, working in Nanton's difficult because you're behind, because they're not patients. They're neighbors and friends. And so when each time you meet one of them again, there's a bit of catch up as far as what's going on in their lives, and they're interested in your life. And so I'm always having to be reminded to get going. You're starting to get behind because you enjoy the social. There's very few towns that have that kind of reputation of getting together and doing what needs to be done. And so that's been a pleasure all along. Anytime I need any help with any situation, there's always somebody to call that just steps right up.
When we tried to establish the Nanton Community Health Center, we were basically breaking new ground. We have what we have, a lot of it because of his passion, his integrity, and his stubbornness to get it done.
Well, and it's not a big increase. I mean, we get better support here than major hospitals if we need some. But it's just that kind of attitude to, you know, how do you thank all those people that make your, you know, your job easier?
Lots of times people put a lifetime of service into a community and they stay under the radar and they just do what they do. When Terry had his accident, that's one example of the community jumping in behind him.
That's the challenge when you get a woman in your life, everything moves.
Yeah, but it's a lot better.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's been interesting being engaged in the community and being part of what goes on there and all the fundraising. Never really thought that it would, you know, the shoe would be in the other foot. And so with her son Terry, with his injury, you know, he became quadriplegic the last day of class in university in his phys ed education degree.
I got the original call and I answered the phone, and all I really remember about that is Terry saying, Mom, I can't feel my legs. That was, I don't try to think about that.
It changes your life. Your priorities change instantly, and you get priorities straight. And I've certainly had more freedom, you know, since then, to do the things that matter. And yeah, I have trouble talking about it.
It was a real eye-opener about what's important for a community. That's where it really shows you what a community is about, when somebody puts up the sign, we need help, boom, they're all there.
3 months later, we were looking at trying to, you know, renovate a place for our son. We didn't want to move him away from his friends in Edmonton. We had a fellow, Brad Wallace, come up to Edmonton to let me know about a fundraiser. And I remember the conversation, you know, I was saying that, well, you know, we'll do okay, you know, we really don't need that. And remember him saying, no, I came up here to tell you that we're going to do this and that you're to stay out of it. So as a result of that fundraiser, which was just over the top, we had the funds to renovate the place that he's living beyond imagination. We felt, well, I felt indebted to this community, you know, even before that, but certainly being on the receiving end of it, something we never expected. And so people keep saying, you know, when are you going to retire? Well, heck, I'd never retire. So you actually had a fair amount of stuff done.
John Tenove came to town as a young doctor wanting to establish a practice, and he has never left. And throughout any adversities that he's had in his life, and there have been some, he's always been a town and community supporter. He always had the best interests of Nanton at heart.
Well, it's the best place to be.
It doesn't matter whether it's sports or school or community events, they're visible at everything and support everything.
I really admire John. I mean, he's a wonderful doctor, he's a wonderful person, he's raised his boys in this town. You can go to him with anything. You can stop into his house if you want to. You can call him at all hours, and he's always there for you.
This is a full-scope family physician, came to a little rural community, has worked there for 35 years, knows everybody in the community. If there's an accident, they call John Tenove. If somebody has a problem at night, they call him at home. They'll wake him up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and feels that that's his responsibility. He likes doing it.
There was a real sense that this award was well justified with John. I just honor him for his incredible work in the community.
Winning an award like I certainly never expected it. I'm not sure I'm even really kind of grasping, mainly because that's not what motivates you. The privilege of having meaningful days and fighting those battles and succeeding. That's, I guess that award is kind of recognizes that we got the whole team here. Yeah, no, there couldn't be a better existence as far as I'm concerned.